Will Battlefleet Gothic ever return? Can it compete with X-Wing? Time for another Wonders of discussion. Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, time for another Wonders of discussion, and in this one I want to talk about Battlefleet Gothic and will it ever return. Before that though, if you would like to keep up to date with the wonders of Warhammer 40k, please give me a sub and hit the bell button so you don't miss an episode. Okay, so in this video we're going to have a chilled, relaxed chat about Battlefleet Gothic, and this is running from the back of the video that we did last week about Epic and will that ever return. So yeah, Battlefleet Gothic. Now I actually have some Battlefleet Gothic models and I've played the game. Not in the old days when it was originally out, but yeah, I was given a massive Eldar fleet, and I now, after a good few years, have managed to get it painted, and I think it looks awesome. I really love it. Indeed, I love it so much that I'm always on the lookout for a Necron fleet and a Tyranid fleet, because those, I think, are the best fleets in terms of the looks that they did. I played the game. The game's okay, it's fun. It's what I found with the game is that I got a little bit limited because of the rules. Eldar seemed to be incredibly powerful, and I was playing my son who's playing Space Marines because he's got a couple of Space Marine ships. It wasn't a big game, we just played a small game. But what I found was that it was a bit one-sided. Now at the time of playing these games, I also got into Attack Wing, the Star Trek version of X-Wing. Now I know X-Wing obviously is the most popular game, and I do love Star Wars. I have played Star Wars, but I am a Star Trek fan, so it's only right that I went with the Star Trek game, and I do really enjoy it, and indeed I've managed to get my buddies into it as well, and we have some good nights playing the game. So much so that I haven't been playing Battlefleet Gothic. It's not as easy to play, and my buddy doesn't have any ships. It's more difficult for him to get into it, and yeah, I just have the models in a case. I love the models, and I think they're really cool. So I've just left my fleet in my case. I love having the models, and I do get them out and I look at them every so often, and I enjoy them. But what about if Games Workshop released Battlefleet Gothic? Well, the question is, will they release it? Because Attack Wing is incredibly popular, and it does beg the question, will Battlefleet Gothic come back, and will it try to compete with X-Wing? So one option is they go all out and they literally compete with X-Wing and bring out the game, simplified rules, possibly using the same mechanics as X-Wings. It's probably IP'd, I'm not sure, but they might be able to come up with something similar but different, and then make it into a box set and try and compete with it. Will they do that? I don't know, but if they don't do that, can they make Battlefleet Gothic work in a different way like it used to play? I don't think they can. I don't think they can make the game as complicated as it was. I'm not saying it was overly complicated because I didn't really play it. I've only played like 3 games, but there's a lot of templates and stuff to use. So it's not the easiest game to play, let's say. So in my opinion, if they do release it, it's definitely got to be a simplified game. But would I buy it if they released it? Well, I think it depends. Obviously, I do have a big fleet and I do want to be able to use it. Now, if they brought the game out and my fleet wasn't compatible with the Battlefleet Gothic game, then to be fair, I probably wouldn't buy it. I'd have to have my fleet compatible with the game for me to be able to buy it. Now, will GW make that happen? There's a lot of people with a lot of Battlefleet Gothic ships waiting for a game to be released. And if they do, will they let them be able to play their old fleets? Or would it be a brand new game, something to compete with X-Wing, where the old fleets aren't compatible with it? Now, this is an interesting question, and I would love to hear your comments on it, so please put your comments below. And indeed, if you fancy making a video response to this topic, then please do so. I would love to hear your thoughts. So from my point of view, if they brought out Battlefleet Gothic and it was cost effective for me to get into the game, allowing me to use my current fleet, maybe having a second fleet in the release that I could give to my buddy to play, and it was easy to play. I think I would definitely be interested. However, unlike Epic, I'm not overly excited about Battlefleet Gothic coming out, because I'm a bit unsure about how they're going to do it, and I'm a little bit nervous about how they're going to do it. Now, I think where Battlefleet Gothic could really shine, and maybe could be a direction that Games Workshop will take the game, is for narration purposes of your standard Warhammer 40k battles. How cool would it be to have two armies fighting it out in space, and then whatever happens in that game in space has an impact, has an effect on your games down on the planet. I think that would be really awesome. I think it definitely would add to a narration of a game, and indeed you could switch. So after you've been in space fighting, you've got consequences, now you're on the planet, and whatever happens on the planet can have consequences what happens back up in space. So you could alternate playing the two games together. So I think it definitely has potential still to be re-released. I have a sneaky feeling that Games Workshop will re-release it. I'm not 100% sure how they're going to release it though, so it's going to be interesting. Love to hear your thoughts on it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in next week's video. Beam me up.